Two championship board drivers have already been determined. How will Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson race this weekend at Martinsville, knowing they're already promised a chance at the final trophy in Phoenix? Alongside Brad Daugherty and Kyle Petty. All right, Brad, I'm going to start with you. You've got Larson.
Sure.
You have Bell locked in, and these two guys have won races. How do they race their competition at Martinsville?
Yeah, I think it's the same way. It's status quo. You go out, you race as hard as you can possibly race. I mean, you see it in all professional sports. In order to participate at this level, you have to do it all out and give your max effort, or you'll lose something. So I expect both of these guys to have these race cars on tilt, trying to go and win this race. You drive as hard as you possibly can so you stay in a good rhythm once we get to Phoenix, and there's no picking it back up. You're already there.
Yeah, I think we saw how they'll race last week, honestly. When you look at Kyle Larson was trying to get everything he could coming to pit road. He wasn't just floating off in the pit road. He was still intense. 10 tenths is what he was driving. He was trying to make something happen for Kyle Larson and that team. His intensity levels up. I think we saw it with Christopher Bell. Same thing, man. I mean, these guys were all but lapped in segment 2. They kept fighting. They kept focused. There's not a magic switch that you can flip on and off and say, yeah, I can just flip it back on when I get to Phoenix. You have to keep that intensity level up. And I think those two guys have played at that intensity level all through the playoffs. I think it's just coming to a point where right now they're peaking.
So, Kyle, I'll start with you and talk a little bit about this. When does their attention go to Phoenix? Because they already know they're in that race. That's the most important race of the year. So do you lose a little focus on Martinsville because you're looking at Phoenix?
No, listen, as a driver, I don't believe that that their intensity or that they start looking to Phoenix until the week of Phoenix. I think the crew started looking to Phoenix 2 weeks ago. I think the crews for a lot of these guys that aren't even in the playoffs or haven't made it to Phoenix yet, that Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, Tyler Reddick, their teams are getting cars ready and preparing them. Their focus is Phoenix in some strange way back at the shop. But once you're at the racetrack, your focus is the race in front of you. It's Martinsville. They have to be, as drivers, they have to be focused. Brad knows it. He's played again in the NFL or in the NBA so many times. You can't focus on game 6 when you're playing in game 4. You've got to focus on the game you're in and then the next game as it comes after that.
I just, when you're looking at going to Martinsville, you're trying to go win a championship. These guys aren't putting anything ahead of Martinsville, though. Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, they know they've got to go. They got to step on each stone this weekend, get themselves through Martinsville with a successful weekend, whatever that is, and then the pressure starts to mount. They're going to go try to win a championship. The rest of these guys, they're coming. Everybody is hyper-focused on Martinsville. That is the only thing. Nothing looking forward. You can't do that or you get yourself in trouble, and none of these guys are.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Motormouths, presented by Toyota.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.